Ditching your aircraft in the ocean is a terrifying experience. But here at the IFAP Survival Training Centre in Fremantle, those who work on the ocean actually practice doing just that. So if the real thing happens, they can be prepared.
When you panic, your body uses more oxygen, you're more tense. So you have a greater need to breathe in.
There are valuable lessons to be learned here in remaining calm under extreme pressure. Head trainer Sue Kappa has done the sums.
So you could typically hold your breath if you're calm for up to a minute, if you're reasonably fit. If you're panicking, then you'd probably reduce that down to 5 or 10 seconds.
Sue also teaches workers safety procedures and how to operate life rafts and survival gear like life jackets and winches.
For the man in our next survival story, a raft like this would have been just a shot, but no chance. His adventure isn't a lesson in how to operate emergency equipment, it's a story of sheer guts and improvisation. He was well and truly out there, and he survived.
Jack Drynan was a fisherman. He loved and worked the sea up until his death from cancer in 1985.
He'd taken boats up previously, so it was just a common occurrence, actually. He was just off about his work.
Jean Drynan was Jack's wife, and she remembers well the trip where Jack left with two mates to take the prawn trawler North 6 up the northern coast of Western Australia on its maiden voyage.
He was asleep, and then this almighty crunch and thump, and he knew that something had been hit. The boat lurched and he was thrown out the wheelhouse door.
The trawler had swung off course and into the sheer cliffs at Shark Bay. Jack's mates were killed on the cliffs as they tried to make it to land. Jack chose the sea. The big squat icebox that North 6 had been carrying on her afterdeck surfaced beside him, water still streaming down its sides. Not much bigger than a family fridge, it became Jack's home for the next 2 weeks. As Jack floated out to sea, searchers found the trawler wreckage, but no survivors. The days went by, but Jean on shore with her 4 children never gave up hope.
There were oranges and there were eggs. There was 3 containers of dripping. And when he saw that, that's when he rubbed his body with dripping, and that sort of protected him from the cold.
Jack drifted an amazing 300 kilometres out to sea. Day after day after day, scorching heat, numbing cold at night, and the whole time, intense thirst. He nearly drank a fatal amount of seawater, but was saved by rain on day 7. Jack's icebox eventually floated within sight of land, but he still had no control over its drift.
He thought, well, if I'm going to get back near land, I'm going to have something which I can control. So therefore, he decided to make his raft.
This is the raft Jack hacked from the lid of the icebox. He paddled this flimsy frame several kilometres to shore, and when there was no civilization nearby, he actually hopped back on his raft and aimed for a nearby island where he knew people lived. Shortly after this brave decision, he was found paddling along by local fishermen.
They thought they were seeing a ghost. When he got on board, well, the first thing he said, help me up with this. And I says, what on earth do you want that for? So that's my raft.
On Mother's Day 1963, Word got back to Jean that her husband was alive and on the way home. His epic 16-day voyage in an ice chest made worldwide news.
They said, we don't know what condition he's in, so we just have to wait and see. And well, as long as he's alive, we'll patch him up.
In fact, Jack was in remarkable condition. When he first got to shore, he ate some of this pig face. It's a bit salty, but it's full of moisture. Unfortunately, those in our next story didn't have such good local knowledge.
After their epic sea voyage, they were lost for weeks before being found. That's the biggest search in Australian history up next.
So it's just plain gut survival. That's all, lived for today, and when we stop walking we die sort of thing.